Welcome to electrical third semester students. Now we will start engineering math 3 chapter 4. Its name is Laplace transform. Okay, so Laplace transform, first of all we have to know about the contents of this chapter. First one is about gamma function. We'll study about gamma function, then definition of the Laplace transform, then properties of Laplace transform, then inverse Laplace transform, then properties of inverse Laplace transform, then at last solving differential equation by Laplace transform method. In shortly we say LT method. Clear? So first we have to know about the gamma function. The gamma function is defined as gamma of n. Actually it is denoted as gamma of n and defined as gamma of n equal to integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus x to the power n minus 1 dx, where n greater than 0. In particular, if we will take n equal to 1, then it will be represented as gamma of 1 that equals to, its value can be obtained by using this definition. So we will apply n equals to 1 here. So it will becomes integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus x into x to the power 1 minus 1, that means 0, and something to the power 0, that is 1. That's why it is only e to the power minus x into 1 dx. That equals to, as we know, integration e to the power minus x is e to the power minus x by minus 1 from 0 to infinite, though this is a definite integration. That equals to minus 1 keeping outside, then inside the bracket we'll put infinite upper limit, then we'll put lower limit 0. So it will be represented as 1 by e to the power infinite. Why it is 1 by e to the power minus x can be written as 1 by e to the power x. That's why we write 1 by e to the power infinite minus 1 by e to the power 0. That equals to minus 1 keeping outside, and e to the power infinite, something to the power infinite is again infinite, and 1 by infinite, that is 0. That's why we are writing 0 here. Minus e to the power 0 is 1, and 1 by 1, that is 1. So 0 minus 1. So that equals to minus into minus, that is plus 1. Hence we have to remember the value of gamma of n gamma of 1 equal to 1. Clear? And here we have to remember this is your formula for the gamma function, and in particular value n equal to 1 means gamma of 1 equals to 1. You have to remember. Then there is a formula, that's name is reduction formula. This formula will help you to find gamma of 2, gamma of 3, gamma of 4, means all the integers that can be obtained through this reduction formula. Okay, so what is that? Let us see. Gamma of n such that gamma of n plus 1 equal to n gamma n. This statement is your reduction formula of the gamma function. What is that? That is gamma of n plus 1 equal to n gamma n. So let us prove this one. Suppose we know gamma of n definition is integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus x to the power n minus 1 dx. Okay, and here we'll start our left hand side, that is gamma of n plus 1. So gamma of n plus 1 equal to means we will replace in place of n, that means n plus 1 will write. So integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus x into x to the power n minus 1 means in place of n we will write n plus 1 then minus 1, because here minus 1 is there, dx. Okay, so putting n plus 1 in place of n. That equals to integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus x plus 1 minus 1 here cancel, so only x to the power n dx. Now we can see this is a integration of two functions are in multiplication, means by parts we have to go for. The by parts method means integration u into v. Clear? So u into v means the formula is u integration of v minus whole integration derivative of u into integration of v dx. So here we have to follow the Euler process, means this is your exponential function and this is your algebraic function. So ILATE means this comes first, means this is your u and this is your v. So formula is u integration of v, means x to the power n, and integration of e to the minus x is minus e to the power minus x. Direct I am writing from 0 to infinite. Then formula minus whole integration from 0 to infinite, inside the bracket derivative of u, means u is x to the power n, so x to the power n derivative is n into x to the power n minus 1 into integration of v, means e to the power minus x integration, again it is minus e to the power minus x whole dx. Clear? Then after putting upper limit and lower limit in this function becomes vanish, means it will becomes 0. Okay, so that's why we are writing 0. Then minus into minus means plus, and n is a constant here. Then 0 to infinite e to the power minus x to the power n minus 1 dx. Now you can see this term is equal to the formula of gamma of n. That's why that equal to n into gamma n. That means we can prove that gamma of n plus 1 equal to n gamma n. Clear? So then by using those reduction formula, we can obtain different value of gamma. So here gamma of 1 by 2, it's a fraction. Gamma of 1 by 2 equals to root pi, gamma of minus 1 by 2 equals to minus 2 root pi. This value can be obtained by using the main definition, means gamma of n equal to integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus x and into x to the power n minus 1 dx. So in that formula this can be obtained. Next, some question will ask you find gamma of 3 by 2, means you have to convert this value as reduction formula, means gamma of n plus 1. So 3 by 2 can be written as 1 by 2 plus 1. So gamma n plus 1 can be written n gamma n. So here n is 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 gamma of 1 by 2. And gamma of 1 by 2, its value is root pi. That means you have to remember this value. Gamma of 1 by 2 is root pi. So that equals to root pi by 2. Fine. Similarly, if it will ask you gamma of 5 by 2, again you have to express that 5 by 2 into something plus 1, because your reduction formula is gamma n plus 1, n plus 1. Okay, so 5 by 2 can be written as 3 by 2 plus 1. So here n is 3 by 2, and we know the reduction formula is gamma n plus 1 equals to n gamma n. So here n is 3 by 2, n is 3 by 2. So formula n gamma n. So 3 by 2 gamma of 3 by 2, that equals to 3 by 2 gamma of 3 by 2 can be written as 1 by 2 plus 1. And else again it is reduction formula, we can apply gamma of n plus 1 equals to n gamma n. So that equals to 3 by 2 into 1 by 2 into gamma of 1 by 2. And gamma of 1 by 2, we know its value is root pi. So 3 by 2 into 1 by 2 root pi. That is equals to 3 by 4 root pi. Okay, so similar way you can find out gamma of any fraction value. Clear? Then there is a definition of this chapter, Laplace transform, and we have completed about the gamma function. Okay, so let us start definition. Let f of t be a function of t defined for all positive values of t. Then the Laplace transform of f of t denoted by Laplace of f of t and is defined by Laplace of f of t equal to integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus st f of t dt, provided that the integral exists. This formula you have to remember, because this is your main definition of this chapter. Okay, so here s is written. Here s is known as parameter, which may be real or complex number, and L of f of t being a function of s, written as L of f of t equals to f bar s. That implies f of t equal to Laplace inverse of f bar s. Clear? So here L is known as Laplace transformation operator, and L inverse is known as inverse Laplace transformation operator. Okay, so these are about the definition of the Laplace transform, means L of f of t, and introduction of L and L inverse. And what is t? This is a function of this is a variable of f, and what is this? That is also another parameter of f bar s. Clear? Then there is a condition for existence. As we know, in limit and continuity chapter, we say limit exists, means we have to go for the condition for existence, means left hand limit equals to right hand limit, then we say that limit is exist. Similarly here you will study about Laplace transform, means Laplace transform when it will exist, means if it will satisfy the condition. The Laplace transform of f of t, that is this formula, integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus st f of t dt exists for s greater than a if first point is f of t is continuous. Second point is its limiting value, limit t tends to infinite e to the power minus at f of t is finite, means your function must satisfy this condition, then its Laplace transform must be exist. Clear? This is the condition for existence. Then Laplace transform of standard functions. As we know, we have studied about Laplace of f of t. F of t means function of t. Your function of t is, for sometimes there is a constant, sometimes your f of t is e to the power at, sometimes your f of t is t to the power n, sometimes your f of t is sin at or cos at, or sin hat or cos hat. Clear? So you have to remember as a formula, and all formulas can be obtained by using your main definition, that is L of f of t equals to integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus st f of t dt. Clear? So here you have to remember this formula, Laplace of 1 equals to 1 by s. And number 2, Laplace of e to the power at equal to 1 by s minus a. Laplace of t to the power n, that equals to n factorial divided by s to the power n plus 1. And n factorial we can say gamma of n plus 1, n factorial can be written as gamma of n plus 1 divided by s to the power n plus 1. Then number 4, Laplace of sin at equal to a by s square plus a square. Laplace of Laplace of sin h at equal to a by s square minus a square. S means this is a hyperbolic function. Clear? Then Laplace of cos at equal to s by s square plus a square, and Laplace of cos h at equal to s by s square minus a square. These are the formula. Also we represent in front of you some proof, and other proofs can be obtained from that formula. Okay, Laplace of 1, how it is 1 by s? Let us see. Laplace of f of t equals to this definition, 0 to infinite integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus st f of t dt, and here we are putting f of t equals to 1. So Laplace of 1 equals to integration 0 to infinite e to the minus st, in place of f of t we will apply 1 dt, and e to the minus st into 1, that is e to the minus st, and e to the minus st integration is e to the minus st by minus s from 0 to infinite, that equals to minus 1 by s. It's a constant, so keeping outside. Then inside the bracket we have to apply the upper limit, that means infinite in place of t, means it will be represented as 1 by e to the power infinite minus e to the power 0. Again 1 by e to the power infinite, it will become 0, because e to the power infinite is infinite and 1 by infinite is 0. So it will be written as 0 minus 1 by e to the power 0, e to the 0 is 1, 1 by 1, that is 1. So 0 minus 1 is minus, into minus, that is 1 by s. Similarly you can prove Laplace of 1 equals to 1 by s. Another formula, Laplace of e to the power at, that equals to 1 by s minus a. So its proof, Laplace of e to the power at can be written as integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus st e to the power at dt. That can be written as integration 0 to infinite e to the power minus of s minus a into t dt, and its integration is e to the power minus s minus a t by, though this is a constant, this constant will be divided, minus of s minus a whole from 0 to infinite. Then it will becomes minus 1 by s minus a, it's a constant keeping outside. Then by putting infinite it will become 0, by putting 0 it will becomes 1, then minus